Right, we're back on the camera. Is this thing working? Yep. Got the new lens, wide lens. I'm currently at a lookout. I come to walks too by myself quite often. I like the peace. I'm surrounded by trees. I'm sure I'll get people walking past, but social anxiety fears me, so we'll be okay. Business has been crazy. The past 6 months has been a fever dream, and I don't really know how to articulate that into words, but what I do know is if I don't document and talk about this period of my life, I am going to be kicking myself in 5 years' time. So, without further ado, I asked a friend to ask me 5 questions that he thinks I should answer to give the world a bit more context of a 20-year-old startup founder from country Victoria that has gone from zero to hero in 6 months. So let's get started. Let's deal with this awkwardness. What season of life am I in right now? I am officially about to be salaried with the company. We're going full-time paid. We have raised and closed our pre-seed round, which has enabled us to be able to fund the next 6 or so months. It's given us a 6-month runway to go and then go live in the market, scale fast, raise again back end of the year, probably once we come home from San Francisco. I just have this overwhelming feeling that my life is accelerating exponentially. Looking back a year ago to the day nearly, I was thinking about dropping out of uni to become a personal trainer. And a couple months post that, I did drop out of uni to become a personal trainer. And now here I am, 8 months post that, 6 months, 7 months now into building a construction tech startup, having raised and closed a round with 2 advisors, 2 lawyers, an accountant, 2 founders, with trips to Sydney, San Francisco, etc. planned. It is not a position that I thought I'd be in, anyone around me thought I'd be in, Ashton thought he'd be in. It's just been a whirlwind. Sometimes the momentum can be quite daunting, and that's probably attributed me to being in quite a confused period of my life. A lot of stuff has been pushed to the side, like social life, love life. That's, you know, I'm the sort of person that can only give mental capacity to finite things at once before the effort across the board starts to diminish. So I've had to practically cut my priorities down to health, business, family. I can't, and it's tough, you know, it's lonely. I mean, it's an incredibly lonely period in my life. Not as in like not people around me, but my identity is shifting at such a rate that, or my external world is shifting at such a rate that my internal identity is trying to play catch up. So there's just sort of this disconnect at all times. That you know, sucks sometimes, but it is part of it, and it is catching up slowly. My mind is becoming accustomed to, I don't want to say success, but the trajectory. It's quite, intimidating, and it's sort of hard for me to articulate what we have going on, because it sort of seems fictional, like mythological. Like this is like shit you see in the movies. This isn't real. People don't grow this fast. They're not in this position from your background. That doesn't happen. So, yeah, I'm 21 next year. I'm looking forward to I think that'll be good for me because I'm 20. It's like you're half an adult, you're half still a kid. You know, I don't want to go full adult. I don't want to take away that childness I have about me, because what's the fun in that? 21's pretty serious. At the moment, I'm planning a trip. I think I'm going to do China, Hong Kong, and Japan, like Feb, March. Maybe go for a month or so. I've always liked China, like the culture. I want to go to Hong Kong because good parties. And then Japan, go snowboarding. I know some people over there that'll be working around that time, so stay with them, get to see them. It's exciting. It's exciting. I'm in a period of my life where it feels like it's a product of manifestation when I was younger. That's the only way to really describe it. That's a period of my life I'm in. It feels like this is what 10-year-old me dreamt about, and now I'm in it. Alright, what is consuming my mind the most? I think just getting accustomed to the reality. Because 6 months ago, this wasn't a reality. This didn't even seem like it could be a reality. It was best case scenario. And now I'm living that best case scenario, and I'm like, well, obviously this is, in terms of set the bar high, so when you don't achieve it, you're not too stressed. No, I set the bar high and achieved above it. I overachieved. And that's just, I'm in awe sometimes that this is my life. This is the position I'm in. I get to build a company with my best mate. You know, it feels like I'm living in a fucking cartoon or a movie. And sometimes I walk around like, yeah, I can't wait for this to be in my documentary. But that's it. And, you know, when I'm not thinking about thinking, it's a practically majority of my time is I'm on. I'm just on all the time. I struggle to sleep. It's just, you know, what's next? What are we doing next week? What meetings do we have? Who are we meeting? What connections can we make? You know, how do we scale? My mind is so, the critical thinking is through the fucking roof. Strategy is just it consumes me. And it gets me. Sometimes I wish I could just take a step back. You know, Ashton's got his missus and he's happy. And I'm like, oh, fuck, my girlfriend's chess. You know what I mean? So that's probably another thing I think about, but that's just the reality of it. That's the reality of being in business. At 20, sacrifices have to be made. And sometimes it's hard for people to understand. I feel like a dick sometimes, which, you know, isn't a great feeling, because you're like, well, I can't accommodate a second brain. You know what I mean? I'm struggling with the one. I can't accommodate a second near me. It'll make me blow up. So that's, yeah, like some examples I had here was balancing ambition with enjoying life. But it's my ambition, I enjoy it. I enjoy the ambition. I enjoy the hustle. I enjoy the grind. I'm building with my best friend in the whole world. It's not really that hard. It's not really that stressful. I get to wake up and he comes to my house, or I go to his house, or we go to the gym and we go for a meeting and get a coffee and work. It's not really that hard. Like, enjoying life, that'll come when I've got millions and millions in the bank, but I'm not too stressed about it right now. Becoming the person of being capable of building a great company, that's a big thing for me, particularly since onboarding one of our advisors, Trav, as like sort of strategy, vision. Like, he's really good with that stuff. He was previously C-suite. G'day guys.
How you doing?
Good, thank you. Previously C-suite. So him for us is sort of, yes, we want to have a good company, but being good founders is probably more so what we want for the long term. Reality is this will succeed, this company, but it's not going to be our only company. It'll be our first, but we want to learn as much as we can. This is a massive learning opportunity for us. So that's a big thing for me. The company only does as well as Ashton and I do well as people. Personal growth is massive for us. I've got Ashton into reading, huge. It's just a constant evolution of oneself. That's what this game is. You evolve, company evolves, you evolve. It is just this tick for tat. You want to ramp up your personal growth as much as possible so the company ramps up. But as the company's growing, you are forced to grow as well. So they sort of go hand in hand, you know what I mean? Sorry, some people walk past. I just was watching them pash. It's pretty funny. What am I struggling with that nobody would see? Ooh, this is a tough one. Because obviously there's struggles. But I'm one that I get a kick out of the shit. Get a kick out of the struggles. It makes life more enjoyable. If it was sunshine and rainbows all the time, it'd be shit. For me, at the moment, I know that I must document my life because it is abnormal. I'm living many people's dream lives. I'm living in a movie practically. But I struggle to document it because sometimes I feel like nobody cares what I have to say or no one would find it interesting. And then I get messages saying, document, what are you doing? How's the business going? I'm like, well, yeah, I should document that, hey. So that's something that it ruins me. And I'm a massive ruminator. Rumination gets me big time. So when I'm in these thought loops of, all right, you need to post, this isn't good enough, you're not doing well enough, you're not posting enough, it makes me worse. And I just sort of stagnate, and what is stagnation? Just sitting still. Because I'm not doing anything, I can't get out of that stagnation, it just makes it worse. It's just the overthinking of the content part of it. But that'll come. I just need to get the ball rolling again. Stop being a pussy. Greg Lav, 100k in 6 months. He's a weapon and he's a dad. I've got no excuse. If I watched this video in 5 years, what would surprise me? Alright. Let's make a few predictions. I predict in 5 years that if we hit our milestones that we want to hit, if we hit our horizons, 5 years, 2030, I'll be 25. 5 years I'll be worth over $100 million. And I don't say that that is a realistic goal for me. Ambitious would be mid to high 9 figures. But for me, that is where I see myself in 5 years. And I think that 5-year me is going to be looking back well done. You guessed correct. It probably sounds stupid through the screen, doesn't it? Saying that a 20-year-old thinks he's going to be worth 100 million by 25, but I think it's I don't want to say a given, but our trajectory would suggest that is within reason. What I'm worried about today that might end up not mattering. Worried about posting content because I know I'm just going to do it, and 5-year me will be like, yeah, you're just crying over nothing. You should just start it earlier. 5-year me, I'm quite a blunt person. In terms of feedback, I just say it how it is. 5-year me will be like, yeah, you're being a pussy. What I hope never changes about myself. Lately I've been leaning, I want to say since I left high school, I've been leaning into my uniqueness and my quirks and my weirdness, nearly. Yeah, I guess you could say that, slightly autistic, whatever. But that makes me whole. I love playing chess, I love watching movies, I love reading, I love just having conversations about random topics. Lately I've been obsessed with ancient Mesoamerica and Mexico and Native Americans and South America. I don't like, that's just, I'm curious. I'm a curious being, and I hope that never changes. I hope I never settle and start becoming bland and bleak and just a boring cunt. Like, I know if that changes in me, one of you guys can assassinate me. I'll give you full permission. There's a car staring at me right now, but you know, you get it's a social interaction. I'm getting over it. Why is my journey worth documenting? Oh, they're driving off. They got scared. Why is my journey worth documenting? Look, whether I'm almost certain Estimate will succeed, but whether business succeeds for me or it doesn't, this is arguably going to be the most transformative period of my life. 20 now, the next 5 years, I'm planning to go all in. You know what I mean? Like, this is business, company, international dealings, whatever. Arguably for me, I don't want to just look back through memory, because my memory isn't great. You know what I mean? I want to be able to look back and show my kids, like, this is what your dad was doing. This is why we're in the position we're in. Be able to, when they make a documentary about me, have clips that they can actually look at. You know what I mean? I just want that physical, tangible memory there. And most of all, I want to remember, like, how I thought. I keep diaries and journals, and I go back and read through them often, and my thought processes evolve constantly. And I know that reading it's one thing, but listening to me speak is another thing. And visually I want to see myself grow as well. Visually, I'm a 20-year-old kid. Imagine looking back at this at 30 and being like, oh. Anyway, hopefully I can do these videos more often, and hopefully it sort of gives you a gauge of where I'm at, how I'm thinking. This is a very vague, I didn't give much info about business, because we've got a couple things coming up in the next couple of weeks that I just need to happen, so then I'm allowed to go public about it, because there's a couple things right now that I'm not allowed to speak about. But I'm very fortunate to be in the position I'm in, and it'd be selfish of me to not document it. And so for people that are like a young version of me that want to be in my position, they know what the stepping stones are, because I am probably an archetype for a lot of non-stereotypical founders. And there's a lot of non-stereotypical founders out there that are frightened or think they're incapable because of where they come from, or they think they're incapable. And I want to break that down. I want to get rid of that. I want to show normal kids you can be from country Victoria, ambitious, crazy kids, that life is there for the taking. You just got to grab it by the balls and have a crack. Anyway, that's a video done. A couple awkward social interactions there, but I'm going to try and do these often, because I wish there was videos like this when I was 15, 16. Instead, I was just watching like motivational hype videos that, yes, they get you going, but at the end of the day, it's all just mental masturbation and provides no real value. Anyway, this is co-founder of Estimate AI, Baylin, signing out. 20-year-old startup founder. Peace.